In this video, I'm going to cover how to replace your rear shock absorber. The first thing you'll need to do is jack up your vehicle and support them from the rear 2 lift points. Then you'll have to use your jack underneath the rear suspension swing arm so that you can raise and lower the suspension to get it into the right position. Then, once you have that, you'll go ahead and remove your wheel and tire. With your wheel and tire removed, you'll now have access to the shock assembly and you can go ahead and replace it. To replace this shock absorber, we're going to be using a 21mm socket on the lower bolting location and an 18mm socket on the upper socket, and you'll remove the top bolt. Now we're going to go ahead and replace our shock absorber. It only goes on one way. The lower bolt hole is larger than the upper bolt hole, so you cannot mess this part up. You'll go ahead and sneak it through the bottom and just thread in the top and get it in there hand tight. Come to the bottom and you'll have to lift up the rear just a little bit to get the bottom one to go through. Now if you're doing this at home, you can go ahead and just jack up your rear suspension because you'll have this thing on jack stands and that'll guide you and get everything set up. We're going to go ahead and run the bolts in. And then the top one is going to go in as well. Now I'm not putting these on really tight. I will put all the torque specs in there, but if you're using an impact gun, you can really easily damage these threads because especially this top one going into the body is not really strong. Now I'll go back over there and do my final torque by hand, but I've got them mostly in there. So if you're doing this at home, you want to have your torque wrench, you want to make sure that you have your vehicle supported on jack stands, have an available jack so that you can raise and lower it into the position so you're not muscling everything in, and then you just remove your 2 bolts that hold in your shock absorber. It's a really straightforward, easy job and can really increase the handling of your vehicle.